So the next question is, what is truncated spur? Question आया था, what are truncated spurs and where and how are they formed? What are truncated spur? So what is a spur? Spur is simply suppose a river is flowing, any transverse land or ridge that protrudes into the river that obstructs the course of the river. मान लो कोई रिवर ऐसे फ्लो कर रही है एंड देयर इज अ लेटरल रिज कह दो पीस ऑफ लैंड, अ स्पर इज अ पीस ऑफ लैंड jutting into a river stream. A, a spur is a piece of land that moves transverse to the river stream. As a result of this projecting landmass, the river tends to meander to make its way. It tends to meander. जैसे कोई रिवर फ्लो कर रही है एक बीच में एक तो रिवर विल टेंड टू meander because of this projecting landmass. River tends to meander. River is moving north to south. A transverse ridge or a piece of land is moving in the way of river. तो water तो flexible होता है, तो river tends to meander and continue to flow in its path. Such projecting landmass is known as spur. Spur. What is spur? Spur is any landmass that is jutting, that is transverse to the river, that is across the river, that is running perpendicular to the river, causing the river to meander. नदी ऐसे बलखाते हुए meander बनाते हुए निकल जाएगी, है ना? When such spurs occur in regular fashion, like जैसे ये when such spur occur in regular fashion, in that case such spurs मान लो लगा ऐसे बार बार आ रहे हैं तो river will tend to make meander. This often happens in the upper course of the river. In the upper courses of the river, these regular occurrences of spur alternatively causes a river to meander. Such spurs are known as interlocking spur. When the spur occurs in regular fashion and causes the river to meander, this usually happens in the upper course of the river. पहाड़ों से वो बलखाती हुई river, it causes meanders to form in the river, regular meanders, because of projecting ridges. These land masses causes river to meander regularly. This usually happens in the upper course. So such spurs are known as interlocking spur. When the same river valley is occupied by any glacier, glacier is a rigid piece of land. It is rigid, hard. It does not have flexibility. When the glacial valley is when the same river valley is occupied by any glacier, the main glacial valley, the glacier descends down. When the glacier descends down, it obliterates the protruding spur. These interlocking spur, which are protruding into the valley, these are also known as protruding spurs. These, the glacier is a rigid mass. When it will descend, it will cut, straighten, it will cut back, it will obliterate the protruding spurs and straighten them. Such straightened interlocking spur are known as truncated spur. So it is very simple where and how they are formed. I have explained you. They are formed mostly in a glacial valley when the river valley is occupied by glacier, and main glacial valley is U-shaped, wide, broad, and deep. And basically, number of tributary glaciers are also there which are feeding the main glacier. When the glacier descends down, it obliterates these intruding spurs, these interlocking spurs. इनको काट के सीधा कर देते हैं. They are straightened. Such straightened interlocking spurs are known as truncated spurs. So where they are formed in, mostly they are formed in glacial areas which are glaciated, where glaciers are descending in the main glacial valley, and they are straightened by the downward moving main glacier, and they the interlock and the truncated spur are little bit higher, and they projects into the glacier, because glacial valley the when the valley is occupied by glacier, the valley becomes deep, and as the glacier descends, it obliterates these protruding spur, making them straight. In appearance from side, they appear like inverted V. जैसे काट दिया, so basically this is the glacial valley, है ना, and these intruding spear, these have been obliterated. So this was the protruding ridge that has been straightened. इसका ये वाला क्रॉस सेक्शन है, it appears like inverted V, interlocking spur. And these sorry, truncated spur, जिनको इंटरलॉकिंग स्पर को स्ट्रेट कर दिया ना काट के ग्लेशियर ने, एंड दीज आर नोन एज ट्रंकेटेड स्पर. और ट्रंकेटेड स्पर का ग्लेशियल वैली से जो व्यू होता है, इट इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इन्वर्टेड वी, बिकॉज उनको काट दिया गया है. नाउ ओनली द स्ट्रेट फेस इज प्रोजेक्टिंग. So that is interlocking spur, that is truncated spur. They are formed by downward descending main glacier, which obliterates the interlocking glaciers, intruding glaciers, and straightens them. Now, next question is, what is transnationalism? Uh, People were confused. What is transnationalism? Basically, transnationals क्या होते हैं? Suppose this is country India, this is some other country, suppose Spain. When a person moves from one country and crosses the international border and enters into another country, जैसे कोई आदमी, a person is leaving his country, crossing the international border, and entering into another country. So when a person migrates, physically migrates, he not only migrates his physical body, rather he also carries his social code of conduct, his culture, his his economic view of life, his political view of life. He carries all these ethos and values with him. वो अपने कल्चर, वैल्यूज, ट्रेडिशंस सबको अपने साथ ले जाता है. And he not only tries to preserve them, he also tries to spread them. And the person who has migrated, usually he integrates with the society of his destination country, and he also maintains strong contacts with his original country. Such peoples are said to be constituting multinationals, and this process of diffusion of social, economic, political, and this cultural values and ethos from one country to another country by way of either migration of people or by way of information communication technology is known as multinationalism, sorry, transnationalism. Transnationalism is a phenomena whereby when a person migrates from one country to another, this leads to diffusion of his cultural, economic, social, and political values and ethos into the country of destination, and he gets integrated in the new society and incorporates many of these characteristics of new society in himself. ही नॉट, जब वो जाएगा तो अपने साथ अपनी वैल्यूज को भी तो ले जाएगा. आदमी जब जाएगा दूसरे देश में, तो अपने वैल्यूज, इथोस जो कि जहाँ कहाँ से ड्राइव होते हैं, हमारा सोशल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट, हमारा वे ऑफ लाइफ, हमारा कल्चर, हमारी मोड ऑफ इकोनॉमिक थिंकिंग, हम सब लेके जाएंगे वहाँ पर. सो बेसिकली इट इज सोशो इकोनॉमिक, कल्चरल एंड पॉलिटिकल views of this person, of this country, will be shifted to this country. And in course of this, he'll not only try to preserve these cultural, social, economic, and political views, he will also try to spread them, and he will in turn also assimilate these views from the country of destination. वहाँ के लोगों के ये सोशल, इकोनॉमिक, कल्चरल व्यूज भी एसिमुलेट करेगा, एंड अ ट्रूली कॉस्मोपॉलिटन कल्चर विल इवॉल्व. जो कॉस्मोपॉलिटन कल्चर इवॉल्व होगा, And he will have, since this person is having strong ties with his native country, he will also disseminate these new acquired values and ethos back to his native country. As a result, the social, economic, and political system of both destination and the original country both gets changed, both gets enriched. And basically, in such case, when this process is in advanced stage, the global leaders, while framing national policies, they look beyond their national interest. Because when a significant portion of population of another country has got migrated, so they not only look in their national policy, not only cater to the needs of their own country, but also the country from where these people have originated. So transnationalism referred to diffusion of socio-economic, cultural and political ethos and values across international border by virtue of international migration or ICT. तुम अपने देश में बैठे बैठे by way of information communication technology, you are interacting with with people of different countries, and you are sharing your values and ethos related to your culture, society, economy and polity. Thereby you are influencing them and you are getting influenced by them. Then also this is multinationalism, even without crossing the national border, sitting back at home. But since this term became popular during 90s due to migrant diaspora, so it is mostly applied to migrant diaspora. लेकिन इसमें माइग्रेशन करना जरूरी नहीं है. Sitting back in your country by way of internet, you can have in sharing of ideas with people of different countries, and you can inform them about your cultural, political, economic ideas, and you can influence them, and you can in turn get influenced. Sit without crossing the border. Those are also that is also transnationalism. But this term became popular during 90s due to migrant diaspora. तो जो लोग जब माइग्रेट करते हैं, दे ब्रिंग अबाउट होलसम चेंज इन द सोसाइटी, इकोनॉमी, पॉलिटी ऑफ डेस्टिनेशन कंट्री, and in turn they have smooth integration with the new society. They assimilate the ideas of new society and also transfer them back to the native country. So society, economy and polity of a native country also gets changed, enriched, and true cosmopolitan culture in both the countries emerge. Now, second part of this question is why the scale and scope of transnational linkages of diaspora multiplied in recent times. Why the scale of transnational linkages of diaspora multiplied? First and foremost reason for this is globalization. Globalization is credited with fostering rise in transnational community. Now, due to globalization, countries' economic system of different countries got integrated. Global supply chain, more and more countries became part of global supply chain, global value chain, and the economic system got integrated with the global economic system, and thereby people had more chances of better avenues of employment in other countries, and people started migrating. So globalization is credited with fostering the rise of transnational communities. लोग और ज़्यादा migrate करने लगे in search of better opportunities. Because of integration of global system, they had more awareness. Over time, these migrants began to form transnational communities. कैसे? Maintaining these people, not only they were living in new countries, they continued to have seamless integration with the new social, economic, political system, and they had strong contacts with their native countries. So these people who migrated to other countries began to form transnational community. Transnational community तभी बनेगी when people are integrated with the new country of destination, as well as they are connected with their original countries. The advent of internet, development in information communication technology, decreased this cheap air travel, social media, all this has contributed in increased linkages um, of the diaspora with its native country as well as destination. तो ये कहते हैं they are seamlessly integrated with the country of destination and their own native country. ऐसे लोग होते हैं multinational, transnational community. Transnational community is constituted by such people who have migrated to another country, but still they have strong bonding with their original country, and they are regularly in touch with their original country. So now a person, because of advent of internet, development in information communication technology, or basically cheaper air travel, rise in social media, these are the key factors in strengthening transnational linkages of diaspora. Now a person living in any part of the world, kahin bhi ho, he is seamlessly connected to all the people in his original country. Any part of the friend can easily stay connected with family, friends, and even with the political development in his native country with the help of these developments: internet, video calls, telephone calls, social media. He is well connected to his national original countries. So, keeping the sense of belongingness alive, making it possible for a person to live in multiple worlds simultaneously. So, this is this is how the multinational transnational linkages among diaspora have multiplied in scale and scope in recent times because of development of technology, uh, internet, information communication technology, social media, all these things. So you see, these questions you can answer very easily. जैसे trans what is transnationalism? Transnationalism has originated from transnational company, TNCs, which have their operation in multiple countries, or they not only operate in their native country, but they also operate in multiple other countries, and they are seamlessly integrated. They are also, that is also transnationalism. तो क्वेश्चंस को बेसिकली एक बेसिक से पकड़ो, बेसिक से लेकर के, और इट इज अ जनरल क्वेश्चन ऑफ जनरल जीएस asked in UPSC geography optional, but it is a question of general studies. So basically, we are now also on Telegram, so you can connect with us on Telegram also. क्योंकि we are also conducting GS geography classes. So GS geography both offline and online classes, and basically on my website soon I am going to mention the topics that I will be covering in GS geography. Detailed covered 70 topics are there exhaustively. It covers exhaustively prelims and mains. इनफैक्ट GS1 में तो 100 मार्क्स का कवर ही करेगी ज्योग्राफी, GS2 GS3 में भी बहुत कवरेज देगी. So the topics I will mention, what the topics I will cover, I will mention on the website, and on you can connect with us on Telegram, right? All the best.